Hello crypto traders, this is Matthew with Crypto Traders Pro. Today I'm going to be going over tip number 6 of our how to grow a small cryptocurrency trading account series. This tip is going to be focused on patience and discipline and why if you combine these two characteristics you will have a better chance of becoming a successful trader. I'm going to be going over a few different charts in this video that all look very similar to each other, and that's because these chart patterns play over time and time again. So going over this first chart here, this is OMG. Now OMG was very popular in late 2017 and it had a lot of hype coming into it. Right when I hit the exchanges, this is on Bittrex, right when I hit the exchanges in mid to late July, this thing just skyrocketed and people had a lot of FOMO. They felt they were missing out if they weren't jumping in OMG. So the average investor, the average trader is going to be chasing this. They're going to be buying it up, forcing the price to go up very quickly. And this is exactly what happened. OMG just skyrocketed right out of the gates, but we know this parabolic type growth cannot be sustained. So a patient trader would not be chasing it. A disciplined trader would not be chasing this. A disciplined and patient trader would be waiting for the best entry. They know that this type of growth cannot be sustained and they know it's going to come down and it's going to have to find a bottom. Well, unfortunately for OMG, it actually retraced almost 100% of its gains. So taking a quick peek at this chart, I'm specifically looking at this area. As you can see right here in the very beginning, it started right down here at about, let's say, 200,000 Satoshis. Between 200,000 and 300,000 Satoshis. So it had this huge hype run. It ran all the way up here. I mean, this was a massive gain. So anybody that got in early did get a significant amount of profits. This was about a 1,400% ROI. So a very good return. Just over 10x profits right there. But a lot of people weren't able to get in early. A lot of people jumped in here late. I remember a lot of people in our community specifically talking about getting an OMG somewhere up here. And we know that these charts never go straight up. No matter how good the project is, OMG was brand new still. They still have a lot of work to do before they prove themselves as a top contender out there. So OMG was quickly going up the charts. I believe OMG was even in the top 10 market cap at one point. But they really had no working product yet. It was kind of just an idea. It does have a massive multi-million, if not billion-dollar company behind it. But it really was nothing yet. So they were still very new and it was all being driven up by hype. So when you're looking to take a trade, you don't want to be buying into this hype. We could have seen, looking at the RSI, this is something that I like to use when making my decisions. Looking at the RSI, we saw it was near its highs. We saw it was near this 80 outlier right here. I like to set my outliers at 80 and 20. So I know when it gets near that 80 mark that it's not going to keep going up much farther after that. That's indicating that it's overbought on the charts and that it's probably going to come down soon. So we saw the RSI was kind of fading away while the chart was still going up, and this is what we would call a bearish divergence. So it's indicating that a reversal's coming. And that's exactly what happened. We saw it start to come down and then it just kind of faded away. And notice how far it actually came back down. It almost had a complete 100% retracement back to the original buy. So somebody that was disciplined and patient, they were waiting for the opportunity to jump back in, and this was that opportunity when we saw it fully retrace. So the smart trader was buying in here, or even maybe a little bit after we saw that first little leg up, and they were selling near their top, taking the profits because they knew that this type of growth this fast was not going to be sustained. So you wait for that pullback, wait for another clear bottom to establish, and then look to jump back in. On this chart specifically, we saw there was some sort of support line in this zone right here specifically because this is where that first leg up was. It kind of consolidated for a little bit and then I had the next leg up. So we knew there was going to be some support near this zone. Wasn't 100% sure where it was going to bounce at, but it did manage to bounce near this zone and then it started to go up. So OMG, now it's still not even near those all-time highs again, but it did manage to bounce after that nearly 100% retracement, and now it's headed back up on the charts. So let's keep going through these. Here's another one. The chart looks very similar. This is Icon. Icon is a platform coin out of South Korea, and this is another one that has a lot of hype behind it. As soon as it hit the exchange, we saw it just rocket. Zooming in here on the charts, there was not even a red day for the first week and a half. It was just straight up green. And again, the RSI was screaming hot on the charts. and then it started to fade off. And this is exactly what happened with OMG. It had the straight up parabolic type growth. We knew it was not able to be sustained, and then it kind of just faded back off, right back to where it started. This one didn't have a complete 100% retracement, but pretty close. So here was the bottom at 217,000 Satoshis, which wasn't far off of where it started. So it almost had a complete retracement here, but the point being is it went straight up and it came back down slowly. So again, the lesson we walk away with here is don't chase into this hype. Don't chase it while it's just screaming up the charts, going straight up. If you aren't able to get in early, then just let it be. There's always going to be another trade, and that's not a good risk-reward play. We need to be patient, and we need to be disciplined and tell ourselves that, hey, this is probably going to come back down on the charts. If this is something I want to pick up for the long term, I'm sure there's going to be a better entry sooner rather than later. And again, it happened on this chart. You just had to be patient for a couple of months, and you would have had a way better entry if you did like this coin long term. So the big thing here is not to chase, and don't go in big if you do chase. So if you're going to chase and let's say you want to buy up here, okay, there is a small chance that it is going to keep going a little bit higher, but the odds are not great. They're not in your favor. So don't put a ton of your money into this position because the risk reward is not there. It's very risky and very little reward. Here's another example. This is Poly. Polymath is looking to tokenize everything. Everything is going to be a token or cryptocurrency. So they're looking to dabble into real estate, stocks, commodities. Everything's going to be tokenized. So great concept. Again, this could be another long-term hold, but this is another one. It came right out the gates, screaming hot, and just started going parabolic. And when you start seeing it just start going straight up on the chart, we know that growth is not going to be sustained. So what happened was it topped out, and it just kind of faded right back down. All these charts look very similar because when the hype dies down, they just fade away. And this is the time that you should actually be looking to buy now that it's kind of started to retrace. This is actually one I just did some analysis on earlier for the pro group. And I said, well, there's going to be some support down here in this zone right here. Let me knock off this volume. So this is where I'm going to be looking to pick it up as close to this as possible. My reason for down here is because, well, when it previously got to this area, that's when it took off. So somewhere in this zone, maybe a little bit higher, but I'm looking to get in as close to this area as possible. Maybe it doesn't bottom out there, maybe it goes lower, but this is a good risk reward play if I'm able to get in near here towards where it started taking off. So again, with Polymath, the patient trader in me, if I'm missing this first move, which I didn't get Polymath, I don't trade Bittrex anymore. I'd wait for this one to get on a different exchange, which I actually think it did just get on Bitfinex, but I'm not chasing the upside move. I saw there was a lot of hype in it. There was a lot of people on Twitter, Facebook, Discord. Everybody's talking about it. When everybody's talking about it, that's not the time to be getting in. Wait till everybody forgets about it. It kind of fizzles off, loses its hype, and that's when you need to be taking advantage of the cheap prices. So right now, again, it's fading off. It's had a lot of red over the last month. And this is something I'd be looking to jump into as it got closer to my buy zone that I've laid out here. Now, the final one I want to get into is Wanchain. Wanchain, this was actually a signal in April, and I believe I did my first video of this series on Wanchain, and I said it was a signal right in here. I sold it somewhere in here. I believe it was like a 40 or 50% winner. A nice size win for a bear market. It's nothing crazy. It's not a 10x, but I knew this pattern, and I knew that this thing wasn't going to go up forever. I knew Wanchain had a lot of hype. A lot of people were talking about it. I managed to get in early, so I took advantage. I actually was able to secure my entry in here. I posted the signal for the pro group. If you guys haven't seen the first video in this series, I suggest you go back and watch it. It was on moving the stop loss up. So on this one specifically, I bought it and I was looking to move my stop loss up every time it made a new support. I actually think I was trading this against Ethereum. So this is the Wanchain BTC chart. I was trading Wanchain versus Ethereum. But this chart did the same thing as the past four. All these charts mimic the OMG chart. It's like straight up, straight down. So the patient trader in me, knowing that I like this project long term, but I already locked in my profits, I'm just going to wait for it to come back down because I know that I'll probably be able to get a better entry. So with this play specifically, I was happy that I just caught the meat of the move. So the meat of the move is just catching a portion of the overall trend. So in this play specifically, I remember getting about 40 or 50% gains And I think I sold it way early, somewhere in here. So I caught a nice chunk of it. It would have been a bigger winner had I held on to it, but I'm happy with the 40-50% wins that I locked in, and I just kind of forgot about it. So being disciplined, I like this one long term. I want to hold it long term. The disciplined trader in me was just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, focusing on other plays. There's a ton of other cryptocurrencies, ton of other plays always going on. I don't just need to watch this chart and say, okay, when do I get in? When do I get in? Staring at it every day, that's not a good strategy, because that's going to make you want to jump in and make irrational decisions. So once it's already gone up, it's going parabolic, screaming up the charts, that's the last time you want to get in. Be patient, be disciplined, wait for that better entry to come. And with this play specifically, it's come right back down to where it started, almost a full retracement, which is fine. I haven't been holding the whole time, which I recommended not to do in the other video, because there's an opportunity cost to just hold this while it goes straight up, ignoring the 200% win and letting it go right back down. I think that is a terrible strategy, and anybody that says just hold, 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 and just preaches hold, I think is very ignorant. So with Wanchain, now I'm looking to jump in and take another entry, and it's actually in the same spot that I took my first entry. And this is what I'm looking at on the chart. So I see some support here. Here's that bottom support, and look where it's at right now. It's kind of bouncing off the support line right now. So I actually put out a signal the other day for the Crypto Traders Pro community to jump in this play, because I think this is a solid risk-reward opportunity. And I still think it is. It hasn't gone up too much yet. I think it's still a solid play right now. If it goes down here and breaks down below this bottom line, it's a 10% loss. I'm just taking a starter position. I'm not jumping in with 10 Bitcoin right away. I'm only jumping in with a small portion. And if it starts going in my favor, then I'm going to look to add to my position. I'm going to be patient, let this move play out. This might take several weeks to play out, and I'll just keep on watching it. I'm not going to be making any irrational decisions. I'm going to be patient, and I'm going to remain disciplined so I don't just get overexcited if it starts to move up one day. I'm going to wait for an overall bigger picture to start forming. So that's going to wrap it up for this video, guys, and I really am trying to stress here, this pattern plays out time and time again. When you see these things get added to the exchange right away, especially Binance, Binance is a great exchange to watch for. When coins get added to Binance, I see this pattern time and time again. There's 4 charts I pulled off, and this is just off the top of my head. I'm sure if I did some more research, I'd be able to find a ton of charts that look very similar to this. They go straight up and straight down. It happens over and over again, and it's just people FOMOing in. There's people buying the hype. Somebody gets stuck holding the bag, and they ride it all the way down for a 70-80% loss. Meanwhile, I sold, took my 40% conservative gain, rolling that into the next play, doing it again while everybody else is losing money. And then when it finally bottoms out and somebody is saying, I've just had enough, I'm down 80%, I just need to take my money and get out of here, that's what I'm looking to buy. I'm looking to buy into their fear and their anger and then ride it back on up, because I'm sure that's what's going to happen with probably this coin and Polymath. I'm sure once Polymath bottoms out, it's going to start to turn around, and I might look in that play too. So watch out for Wanchain. That's going to be a good one for you guys to watch, as well as Polymath. I think Wanchain is a little bit better position right now, but they're both one to watch in the coming weeks. So let's wrap it up there. I'm going to encourage you guys to join the Crypto Traders group on Facebook. This is where we're having discussions every day. Today I had a little fun discussion about trolling. It's funny because there's a lot of people right now that are really angry and upset with the markets, and that's telling us that the overall market sentiment is angry and depressed, which indicates that the bottom might be getting close. So that's actually a good sign. People are lashing out at each other. They're bashing each other, trolling. That's a bad sign for the community, but it's a good sign for the market sentiment, telling us that, okay, maybe the bottom is getting close. So join the Facebook group. There's a ton of discussion going on here every single day. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, like this video if you guys enjoyed it, and also leave a comment and let me know what you guys are thinking as far as using patience and discipline. I think those are 2 of the biggest characteristics you could have as a trader. Also, I got this cool shirt from Zcoin. I'm a really big fan of Zcoin, great project. I run the Zcoin masternode, and they sent me this shirt, mint, spend, repeat. So I figured I'd wear it on the video to rep Zcoin as well. So if you guys want to check out Zcoin and look into a masternode, they're pretty cheap right now compared to what they were in December and January. so check that out as well. So thanks again guys for watching this video. My name is Matthew with Crypto Traders Pro, and we'll see you on the moon.